You are tuned in to the Showbank Show. I got my man Papa Schroeder right here.
What up, what up?
I got my man Rowdy Ray right here.
What's happening?
And we got a new guest, Lil Bruh, Luck, in the building. What's up?
What's up?
Now, I know you listen to Rather You Than Me, more specifically, Autos Become Rivals. And Ross teaches us, never forget about Lil Bruh'Nem. You can never forget about Lil Bruh'Nem.
Lil Bruh'Nem.
And here at Showbanks, we haven't forgot about Lil Bruh'Nem.
Lil Bruh'Nem.
So we gonna talk to Lil Bruh'Nem about what's going on. So look, in your world view, you've been here 15 years. What do you think plagues the youth of your age? Like, what do you think are the biggest problems? What are you guys more concerned with? Where are you guys at right now?
I mean, the bad things that happen mostly have to do with people thinking that they grown right now, and they're really not. But they want to be grown so bad. They want to be grown so bad that they start making grown-up decisions. Like, people nowadays, if I go to a party, I don't even know if I can actually go to a party, because somebody might pull up to the party and we might have to all run out the party. That's why I really don't go out anymore. And then, like, if I do go to a party and it's fine, you know what I'm saying? Most likely it's just going to be a bunch of girls getting drunk, and then the rest of it is just going to be people smoking in the back, which is that's not even fun. That's just like, bruh, I could just stay there. What is the point of me going there? There's nothing even fun about that. That just sounds like, that's just boring to me. Like, I don't really like it.
So you think being the devices of a teenager, of like a 15-year-old, is what plagues you guys? Is that your downfall? Or is, like, what do you think kind of maybe sets you guys behind? Or what do you think is the problems you guys deal with? Like, you think maybe substance abuse?
Abuse.
And just...
Most definitely.
Well,
substance abuse and what their mental state is.
See, that's what I was actually about to get into.
Because a lot of them are depressed,
right? And that's something I was really wanting to ask was, what do you feel like is the mental state of your generation, just mainly on a local basis? Like, you know, kids you go to school with, what do you feel like plagues them mentally, and why so?
The people I go to school with, it doesn't, like, to me, just to me, it doesn't make sense why they say some of the things that they do. Like, I mean, like, I feel like people want to be mentally unhealthy so bad, and, like, to me, like, that doesn't even make sense to me. Like, who wants to be mentally unhealthy?
Like, it's trendy.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
And, like, I mean, it's like people will say, like, I'm so depressed because my parent or something won't get me this. Or, like, I'm depressed because I don't want to be what my parent wants me to be. And to be honest, I feel that sometimes to a point. But it's also to a point where you want to do something with your life totally different than what your parents want you to do. But all your parents want you to do is see you succeed. But I don't think that the people that I'm around right now really know that. They just don't want to be at that point. Like, they just don't want to be told what to do. To go back to my other point, they just want to be grown right now and make their own decisions.
So essentially you're saying they want to be grown without grown responsibilities.
Yeah.
They just want the freedom of it.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's a valid point. Also, how do you feel that in this new age, I won't even say new age, but in this age of information, how do you feel that benefits and subtracts from your generation?
What do you mean by, like...
In this age, because literally anything that any knowledge out there, anything that's, you know, that can be learned is literally at our fingertips now. You know, through Google or different websites you have, all information is there. It's just at our fingertips. Literally, all it takes is just us going out to find it.
Well, I feel like if you ask an older person, much older than everybody in this room, they're gonna say it's gonna make us lazy. But honestly, I think that it gives a lot of people opportunities that they would never get. Like, if you look at social media and you see all these social media influencers, kind of like Filet or somebody like Fatboy SSE, they wouldn't be there right now if it wasn't for social media. And then it's kind of like social media is just like another path or outlet, what they want out, kind of, in a way, like what we're doing right now. I mean... I feel like it's good, but the downfall of it is everybody wants to be famous so bad. to a point. Like, it gets to a point where people will just do stuff for fame. People will do anything for fame. And what I kind of say is, I mean, if you stay in your own lane and you do what you like to do, not what everybody else likes to do, you're going to succeed by yourself. That's just what I think.
That's very true. So you think that the fact that just everybody wants to be famous, you think that is like a volatile thing?
I really just feel like everybody wants to be famous in the same way. Everybody wants to do these same things to make themselves famous. And I feel like, to me, the hunger for fame is disgusting. Like, I don't like it at all. Like, I want people to know who I am, but also people have to know that you don't have to put everything that you do in your life out there for people to know your name. You can be solitary, or you could be by yourself, and not many people know about you, but they just like what you do on your platform that you have.
That's fair, and I'm with you on that, man. I agree. I don't like when people chase the fame, because what does that do for you? Do you want just the money that comes with the fame, or do you just want the attention that comes with it?
It's a mixture of both. And to me, I feel like what I always tell myself is, if you're ever big, just make sure that you're not bigger than life, because life will bring you down one way or another. And I feel like in a while, it's just gonna humble you. It don't matter how big you get, something's gonna happen in your life to humble you. No matter, I don't care who you are. You could be LeBron and let your head get big for a couple of seconds. Something's gonna go wrong. So I just feel like people just have to find the median between, I mean, I'm here, but I gotta remember where I came from. So it's like, I grinded and I did all of this stuff to get here, but I still gotta remember I started with 0 followers, or I started with 0 subscribers, or I started with nobody listening to what I'm putting out. And people start to forget that, and they start to feel like they're bigger than life when they're not.
How big, like, for your generation, like, how big of a deal is it for followers, like, or like at school, or, you know, the people you surround yourself with, like, how big of a deal is it to, like, oh, I got the most followers, or...
I mean, it's as big as you want it to be.
I feel that.
I mean,
But how do you think they take it, though?
Right.
How do you think it's perceived? How do you think having a lot of followers is perceived?
By just like the general, like, you know, maybe not necessarily you yourself or your friends, like, but just the general.
Yeah, what you see amongst your generation.
Peers.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm about to tell you like a little. What me and my friends do is, my friend, he wants to be a social media influencer. He likes to make funny videos, right? So with me and him, it's all about being competitive, and I want to see him succeed so bad that I'll say, if I have more followers than you by the end of this, whatever, or if you don't have as many as this, because I want to push you to that goal, I want you to get to that goal. So I will shout you out. I will do whatever has to be possible. But the thing that people don't really know is followers really don't matter. Because, I mean, if you, like, check your Instagram and you go to Insights, you can see how many people look at your page a day. So you're going to get those followers whether or not you want them. I mean, they going to come.
But how do you think people in general perceive following? Do you feel the people at your age group need followers?
They don't really need them. I mean,
but do you think they need them? I'm not saying do they need them. I know they don't need them. I know you don't need followers to live and succeed. But I'm saying, do you think that that's very important? Like, what do you think they think about having followers or not having followers? What do you think that does to them and people your age?
I think we're going to go back to the mental health point. They think that they need approval from people, which I think is stupid. I feel like I can have 200 subscribers and I'm still that guy. It doesn't matter who you are. They don't feel that way. They need people to validate what they're doing. They need a certain amount of likes. They need a certain amount of followers. I feel like I don't need that. The people in my circle don't need that, because we're like, everybody that I hang around with is confident, and like, that's what you need around you to make you, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so with that being said, what do you feel is the basis for your confidence? What instilled said confidence in you? Because those kids may not have that same circumstance.
Only, like, I mean, there was nothing really instilled, I think, that really, like, helped me with my confidence. I feel like I've just always had that confidence, like, just always. Like, even when I was little, I was trying to beat my brother, which I never really did because I think he cheated. But that's besides the point. Like,
You gotta own up to some things, man.
Accountability is everything.
you cheated.
I didn't
You
cheat.
cheated.
I hit turnaround jumpers on you all the time, man.
Dude, you used to say it was out of bounds before the ball even put it out of bounds.
No,
You
I
called it on me.
didn't. No,
That's
I
besides the
didn't.
point. That's besides that. Hey. But I always just try to beat him, and I never thought I wasn't as good as him. But I think that's probably the basis for me, like how it all started, and then just believing that you're the best at everything that you do, even if you're not. It's just gonna help with your confidence even more.
So, do you feel like your confidence came from you, or did it come from the circumstances? Because, some kids come from broken homes or single parent homes, or, a little bit more dire circumstances. So, do you feel like you having, for lack of a better phrase, a better upbringing that helped instill some of these core values in you?
No, not really. I just really just wanted to be better than everybody, basically, in everything I did. I mean, like, I bet $1 when I was doing my math or speed quizzes in 3rd grade. I'm being totally honest with you. I just like to win. There's really nothing else to it.
So you think your confidence was more instilled by like your motivation just to be the best at everything?
Yeah, and I get that from him, Randy. Yeah, that's probably the biggest right there, and my mom, because I mean, if I didn't have confidence, well, I think that's where I really like originated from, and he just helped me more when I started playing basketball. Well, I think it was probably her first, because I don't even know. I mean, my mom is funny and all of that, and she just has like a great personality. And
Which I think that goes back to Ray's point, where you had a nice foundation in your life to kind of help.
Yeah,
that out.
That's basically what I was trying to get at, was saying that coming from a nuclear family helped foster some of these traits that you exhibit.
Yeah, I think that's true.
So for you, what's your biggest outlook on life? Like, what do you feel like at 15 you're set out to do or want to set out to do as far as purpose is concerned?
I want to help people. I don't know how I want to help people yet, but I know I want to help people. And the crazy thing about that is people think that you got to be a doctor to help people, but really you could just pop up in a video and just make somebody's day, and that could be helping them. And you can help people in different ways. People could watch you as an athlete or something. You could just make their day just from them watching you.
Agreed. Well, that's been our segment of Lil Bruh'Nem.
Lil Bruh'Nem.
From time to time, we're just going to check out the youth and just see what the pulse of their lives are, man. I think that's important for us to do.
And now we're about to get into a couple true or false. Our co-host, EDJ, couldn't be here with us today, so we got him calling in. So let's get right to it. Should Russell Wilson be the highest paid player in the league? True or false?
True. And I say that because given what he has to work with, whether you're talking offensive line or his tools at as far as receivers go, I think they've been fairly limited. If you're looking at it in an isolated sense as far as does he deserve to be the highest paid player in the league, I don't think so in that sense, but I definitely think he deserves his money. So in that sense, it goes hand in hand to me.
Yeah, I like how you put that there, because I think that he definitely deserves his money. I say false, though, to the statement that he should be highest paid player in the league, just because I don't think that he's the best player in the league, but I definitely think it's justified to give him the money that they did. And in a quarterback league, you really have to, you gotta pay him, or he's gonna walk. He's gonna go find greener pastures.
No, I agree with you. I mean, he probably deserves that money, but is he worthy of the highest paid player of the league? No, but like I said, and I'll ask you guys this question, I mean, do you feel like he's a top 3 quarterback?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, he definitely deserves that kind of money, but in a sense of, is he the best, highest paid player in the league? You could take it or leave it. I think it's just because of his name. If you look at his stats, I think you could easily say that he's probably one of the top players in the football, but maybe it's just his name. Maybe it's just, for whatever reason, I think people forgot how good he was. Because watching him play the Chiefs at that Sunday night football game, I forgot how good he is. And watching him play was outstanding. So does he deserve the money? Yeah, but should he be the highest player to play the league? I could take it or leave it. I think Mahomes is going to pass him after that rookie contract is up, and then I think he'll probably deserve that money. But I could take it or leave it. But for the stake at the question, I'll say false.
To kind of piggyback off of what Randy was saying, and to me, it's typically circumstantial. Yeah, he should be the highest paid player in the league, but for Seattle's case, would you rather have him or a subpar talent? You know what I'm saying? Just try to make do with, the next guy up. Because that's not a system that any guy can just operate in, to me.
Yeah. I mean, that's very true.
So, yeah, I'm going to go with true.
And, I mean, that goes back to what Randy was talking about the weapons. There's not a lot around there.
Remember for a long time, well, not even for a long time, for a little while, his best weapon was Percy Harvin?
Yeah.
That was his best weapon.
But then again, how many weapons are you going to be able to get after spending all this money on Russell Wilson?
That's also true, but they've kind of shown where their priorities are because they didn't want to pay Earl Thomas. So
yeah, that's true.
And, that was an integral piece of that defense. So
yeah,
who knows where their priorities lie. What about you, Lucky?
I mean, I think that he doesn't deserve the money, but it's really just based off of, to me, he didn't show me this season that he deserved it. I mean, he won them those 2 championships, which is probably why. I mean, the one championship that that he got Seattle, which I understand why they would want to stay loyal to Russell Wilson. And then if they would have let Russell Wilson go, it would just be like what Ray said and what, you know what I'm saying? They just gonna get the next quarterback up, and the next quarterback up is probably not gonna be as good as Russell Wilson is.
Definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you think he deserves the money then?
Well, it's kind of like you didn't show me last season why you deserve the money right now.
Is that on Russell Wilson or is that on the lack of pieces?
But you got to think, Russell Wilson is a dual threat quarterback. So if Russell Wilson wants to get out the pocket, he will get out the pocket and get those yards.
I believe he showed he can get out the pocket.
Yeah.
Prior years to last year, he didn't show me that last year.
And then you don't think those hits added up over the years? Cam Newton didn't run out the pocket as much. Am I wrong?
And I think it kind of goes back to him saying, well, if I'm going to bust my ass for y'all and run out the pocket and get hit, pay me. You got to pay me for that shit.
Hold on, I'm going to piggyback off something Ray said real quick. Ray, do you think Cam Newton is better than Russell Wilson, though?
Negative.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, that's basically. So, I hear what he's saying, but, yeah.
Even then with the money, when you're talking about taking all the hits, I mean, then do you really want to pay him all that money if he's already got all those miles on him?
But I think it's about shoring up the line so that he doesn't have to run and get hit, because he can still he's still showing he can operate out the pocket. Yeah. It's just a matter of him not having to run as much.
But my question is, how would you pay for the line? You just spent all your money on Russell Wilson, so how would you shore up the line?
Well, luckily, I don't believe they cost that much to break your cap space.
I mean,
if you can
find
linemen.
Yeah,
linemen get paid.
They get paid, but at the same time, you can find some later in the draft, like just diamonds in the rough that you don't really have to pay as much.
I mean, that is true. That's very true.
And that kind of does follow like the Pete Carroll model of success.
Mm-hmm.
Like he really believes in cogs in the system. You pick and plug basically, especially on offensive line.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, especially their offensive line. I mean, they play musical chairs with their offensive line positions.
Randy and I had true, and everyone else was false.
Yeah.
And for another one, quarterbacks make wide receivers' careers. True or false?
I think that's false. I think that is false because if you go to Detroit and you look at Matthew Stafford's years while he was there, I mean, it's been way better when Calvin Johnson was there. So I feel like Calvin Johnson made Matthew Stafford's career. He made Matthew Stafford look great, and that's why he got paid almost $200 million.
Now, do you feel like that's on a consistent basis, or is that just an isolated incident?
I mean, I feel like that's on a consistent basis. He did that.
No, I'm talking about in general with wide receivers making a quarterback is what I'm saying. Is that more consistent, or was that just like one isolated event?
I mean, it just depends on where you look at. I mean, you could say that. You could say that for like a certain percentage of the league. So let's say like the AFC. Then if you look in the NFC, you're going to see something totally different. So it really just depends on where you look at. Because I know if I go down, if I look towards Arizona, Larry Fitzgerald's made a quarterback's career. Carson Palmer's career.
That's up for debate.
Yeah.
That's up for debate.
Because then you could also argue that, then you'd have to argue Chad Johnson made his career in Cincinnati.
Carson Palmer was pretty dang good in Cincinnati.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. So he's got a track record of already being, a good quarterback.
I mean, but
when he got to Arizona.
I mean, but I have a question. How far back are we going? Are we standing like right now?
It's just in general.
Yeah, just in general.
Just in general.
Well, yeah.
Because, the fellas and I were kind of talking about it, and we were thinking, like, did Jerry Rice make Joe Montana's career? And no. Joe Montana was going to be elite with or without Jerry Rice. That was just like a cherry on top. Now, could you say he helped make Steve Young's career? Yeah. The argument is there. You know what I'm saying?
I think that was Measy that said that.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But I don't think Joe Montana would have won rings had he not have Jerry Rice.
I think he would have.
Do you think he would have won as many, or
maybe not as many, but he would have won championships? Because at the end of the day, Bill Walsh made his career. Right. I mean, Bill Walsh made the West Coast offense.
Yeah, the 49ers were pretty solid, with or without Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
But I have a question. Did Des Bryant make Tony Romo's career?
No. Des Bryant was an average receiver.
Yeah.
At one point, he had a couple seasons where he was above average, where he was almost elite, probably elite.
One season,
but he underwhelmed. He had an underwhelming career.
Yeah,
very.
I've got true on this. I definitely think quarterbacks make receivers. At the end of the day, I think that if you're a great receiver, it's because you've had a great quarterback. I think it is a little tricky, but I think that it's more about the quarterback because look at a case like Randy Moss, where he went to Oakland, and I mean, what did he do in Oakland?
0.
So, and then he gets with Tom Brady and he breaks the touchdown record.
See, and I feel like that plays more so in the trope that it takes a bit of both.
It does. What I'm saying? I mean, I agree with you.
Because like the quarterback has to be at least average.
Sorry, Rion. Who is the quarterback with Randy Moss for the Raiders?
Kerry Collins, I think.
I thought it was Gannon. Rich Gannon.
No, Gannon already broke his neck by then.
But I mean, are you going to put that on Randy Moss or Kerry Collins?
Of
being bad, yeah.
But that's my point. That's why he had a bad season, or bad seasons because of the quarterback. Exactly.
Okay.
So he needed a good quarterback to produce the numbers he could produce. That's not taken away from Randy Moss because Randy Moss is still a great receiver. But when you don't have at least a quarterback that can get the job done, I mean, look at he had Culpepper in Minnesota, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think he had Warren Moon at one point.
Did he?
Right there at the very beginning of his career,
Yeah. Was he there for like the Ponder era?
Moss?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not at all. Because that was he was traded mid 2000s with the Raiders, and then by 2008 was the year he came to New England and had one of the greatest seasons of all time.
I personally gotta go with false, just because my main basis for that case is when I look at DeAndre Hopkins. The man has put up elite seasons year in and year out with below, and I mean far below average quarterbacks, and he's consistently elite. You can I could go out there and probably throw at least 3 touchdowns to DeAndre Hopkins.
That's facts.
So
yeah, I'm with you. I think it's false too. Even looking at a guy like AJ Green, he's going to be elite no matter what quarterback he's under.
Yeah, with an average quarterback and Andy Dalton.
Yep, and he made him look better.
Really did.
So, I go with false on that. Most definitely.
I mean, I'm going to agree with Levi on this one. I know that's kind of rare, but I would actually agree with Levi because, I mean, is Tyreek Hill as good as wide receiver if he doesn't have Patrick Mahomes?
He was already good before Patrick Mahomes came.
Not as good as he is now.
But he was still pretty borderline elite talent.
No,
but hold on. Because you can name that. You could put that on his development.
He was a rookie.
You could.
Now that's what I was going to get to.
If you don't have a guy that can throw the ball as well as Patrick Mahomes, do you still develop into that or do you decline?
I think he would ascended regardless.
I think he would have been stuck in like a Deshaun Jackson type space had he not.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like a really good but not elite. You know what I'm saying? Like
but that's still a really good receiver.
Yeah, but I'm saying not elite.
He's an elite receiver.
No, I'm saying, but like that's because he has Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball to him.
I mean, wasn't his rookie season 2 years ago the same season as Patrick Mahomes, right? Same season that Patrick Mahomes got drafted, right?
No, he
No.
was
I
there
think
a
Tyreek
season
Hill's
before.
been there.
And we're talking about a running back making a transition to an NFL wide receiver. It takes time.
Well, yeah, it takes time, but I mean, he wasn't as elite until Patrick Mahomes got there and started playing.
And I think that's a coincidence in terms of his development. There was a steady increase in his statistics every season. So regardless if Patrick Mahomes is going to come there or not, he was going to improve.
Well, okay, I see what you're saying.
Now Patrick Mahomes is going to make him look better. Obviously,
Right.
he's going to make him look better than Alex Smith could ever make anybody look. That's a fact.
But the question is, though, do the quarterbacks make their career? And
No,
Patrick Mahomes.
Tyreek Hill would have had a career regardless.
Yeah,
No.
but as good of a career, I don't.
Exactly.
The Patrick
Is that the
Mahomes-
question? Is that the question? Can we play the question? But can someone read the question?
But that's it. Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying though. Is quarterbacks make wide receivers careers,
that's false.
and Patrick Mahomes is he still would have had a career, but Patrick Mahomes is going to make his career that much better.
Patrick
He's gonna
Mahomes
put-
is
it's gonna
escalating
be-
Tyreek Hill into eliteness.
That'll be a bonus. Patrick Mahomes is the bonus on Tyreek Hill's career. But Tyreek Hill is still going to be borderline elite. He's going to develop into a borderline elite talent, regardless if Patrick
Mahomes is going to make him elite.
I have a question. This is like a real question.
All right, bet.
Who does Mike Evans have? Give me that. And he's an elite wide receiver. True or false? He's one of the best in the league. Who does he have?
Jameis Winston is still relatively a decent quarterback.
Jameis Winston.
He's still relatively decent quarterback.
Jameis Winston.
Is still
The one who wasn't there 3/4 of the
Yeah.
season?
James Winston,
How
the
many-
same dude that stole all them crabs.
Yes.
James Winston is still a relatively decent quarterback.
the man who
He's
eats
below
dubs.
decent.
He's
No,
below decent?
He's below decent.
No. So you mean to tell me, below decent, that's putting him in the same category as Case Keenum. Which one are you taking, Jameis Winston or Case Keenum?
Case Keenum.
Get the fuck out of here.
Nah, they in the same class.
Null and fucking void.
They in
Stop
the same
the
class.
madness.
So Ryan
That's
Fitzpatrick too?
disrespectful.
Huh?
Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Ryan Fitzpatrick
is
better.
a solid quarterback.
No, he's not.
Oh,
He
really?
had one good season. He had
Yo.
one.
We're talking about the guy who threw 6 picks in one game.
Okay.
We're talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick.
We're also talking about the dude. What did he put up week 1 this year?
He's
Didn't
done
he
that
go 6
multiple
That's
times.
one season. He hasn't proved anything. That's one
He's
season.
done that
What did he do with the
multiple
Jets? What did he do with the Jets?
But let's get back to the question.
That was actually Fitzmagic. Hold on. What's that?
Yeah.
Let's get
Do
back
you
to,
really want to talk about that?
Come on now.
All right.
Let's get back to
Alright,
the
yeah, let's
question
get back to the
because
question.
when you guys say make a career, I'm thinking you're saying that he wouldn't get a big contract if it's not for these quarterbacks, or he's not going to have a successful career if it's not for these quarterbacks. So in the example of Tyreek Hill, he's going to have a successful career, relatively successful career. It's just not going to be as good as when Patrick Mahomes is passing him the ball.
Right, and well, no, you're right, and that was my point. He will have a good career, but Patrick Mahomes is making him elite.
But
And that
he's
was
not
the
making
point.
his whole career. He's
But-
not making his whole career.
But he's not going to get paid as much if Alex Smith is still there. He's just not.
So So Tyreek Hill is going to be a bum.
No, but he's not going to be shown as elite because he's running different routes with Patrick Mahomes.
Do you have to be elite to have a made career?
Do you have to be elite? No, but we're talking about do they make your career? I don't think Alex Smith makes Tyreek Hill's career.
Exactly.
think so.
That's the point. Tyreek Hill makes his career. That's the point. Patrick Mahomes is a superior talent to Alex Smith, so of course he's gonna make Tyreek Hill look a little bit better. But Tyreek Hill's gonna look good no matter what system he's in, no matter who he plays for.
I disagree with that.
But I mean, most of the stuff he did with Alex Smith was like end arounds, though.
Compared to numbers wise and whatnot, and like career wise, I mean, he's just not gonna have. I think at the end of the day, if you play your whole career with an average quarterback, you're not gonna have the same career that you're gonna have if you're playing with.
Okay, quick question though. How many 1,000-yard seasons you think Tyreek Hill could have put up with an average quarterback? So like a Andy Dalton.
It depends on who's around him.
Let's just say y'all kept Chris Conley around forever.
But his career, they're saying his career wouldn't have been made with Alex Smith. Didn't he already have a couple 1,000-yard seasons with Alex Smith?
I think he had a 1,000-yard season. That was Alex
Out
Smith
of
last year.
out of 2 seasons though.
Yeah. Because then before that, we just kind of knew him as a return specialist.
Yeah.
You know, or a gadget guy.
Again, Tyreek Hill's growth is based on his development, based on the work that he put in. Patrick Mahomes is going to make him look better, obviously, but it's the work that Tyreek Hill put in. Tyreek Hill made his career. It can vary. I mean, if we're gonna say it varies, yeah, because the system he plays in makes him look a little bit better too.
So me and Eric got true. Yeah, I got false.
Yeah, let's
hold on before we Randy. I hear what you're saying because the question is worded weird, but I get what you're saying though. But I mean, since we're basically saying, do quarterbacks make wide receivers' careers right now? I mean, Patrick Mahomes is making Tyreek Hill's career right now.
And to get to another spicy true or false, Kyler Murray is the best quarterback in this draft. True or false?
Hard false.
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 What's wrong with y'all? Really?
Go ahead and set your points.
No. I'd rather hear y'all's first.
Go ahead.
Okay, fair enough. I'll go.
Yeah, you the lone man. Dude.
I am. I'm going to go with true. Because Dwayne Haskins doesn't have any mobility. Like, that is dead in this league. That shit is dead. You can have a big arm all you want. That shit is dead, especially if he goes to a team that has a subpar offensive line. He is dead man walking. He's a sitting duck.
It's not that he doesn't have any mobility. He's just not
low, very low.
It's not low. I think he'd be crafty enough to get around for 5-6 yards on the scramble.
His mobility is worse than Jameis. I'm gonna be real about it. And Jameis ain't really that mobile, dog.
I think it's about right there.
I
mean, I think they look like Donovan McNabb in the middle of his career. That type of mobility, and it was good. If you're good enough in the pocket, I think you can be smart enough to maneuver around that.
That takes time, though. You know what I'm saying? To develop that pocket presence.
It takes time, but in college, he's shown that transition is possible, and he's capable of such.
See, now it's all dependent on what system he gets, what team he gets drafted to. Because if Denver takes him, God help him. With a subpar offensive line, pass blocking line, no, he's a sitting duck. I'm good.
But wouldn't his mobility come into play then? If you're talking about how good of a mobile quarterback he is?
I'm talking about how not mobile of a quarterback he is.
Oh, you're talking about Haskins?
Yes, I'm talking about Haskins, not Murray.
Okay.
Yeah, because that seems like that's the consensus number one in this group.
I don't know if Kyler Murray will ever play for real.
What does that even mean?
You're gonna take it that far?
That boy is gonna get hurt. He is too small.
That's a buff short man. He will be okay. He will be okay. He's taking the hits in college. He'll be okay.
These ain't college
Them
hits.
NFL hits.
I know they hitting a little different. Damn. I know he gonna be getting hit a little different, but come on, that's a solidly built man.
I don't know.
Ravion, do you think he has a better arm than Drew Brees?
Nah, but it's not like it just pales in comparison. The man has an arm,
but it's not as good as Drew Brees's.
Okay, and what does that have to do with the price of tea in China, Eric?
A lot. Especially in the game that we play now, it's all about scoring points. And if he's going to run around and get hit and be off the field most of the time, you got to have a big arm to fall back on.
He does have a big arm.
Not as big as Drew Brees.
It doesn't have to be.
Drew Brees isn't that big either. Drew Brees is not that big.
Drew Brees is like what, 5'9", 5'10"?
No, I'm talking about you're talking about arm talent basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. His arm talent is up there. He has good arm talent. It's serviceable. He can get the ball at least 30 yards down the field.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not Lamar Jackson.
So, exactly. So, Kyler Murray, can he or can he not get the ball 30 yards down the field?
But can he do it while staying healthy?
Get the ball 30 yards down the field? Yes or no?
He can, but I think that's irrelevant when you look at Dwayne Haskins' talent. I mean, you're talking about a guy that threw for about 4,800 yards, 50 touchdowns, only about 8 interceptions in the Big Ten.
In 1 year as a starter.
In his first year as a starter, and 70% completion, if I'm not mistaken. So I think he's shown everything he needs to show. And on top of that, he's the prototypical quarterback figure.
I mean, he's right up John Elway's alley. You know what I'm saying? Big, tall, statuesque. Big arm.
That'd be nice. Let Fluco teach him.
Oh shit.
I can dig that.
That's something else. So what about you, Levi?
What's that?
Like any reasoning behind your false?
Oh yeah, the fact that he's not gonna stay healthy.
Why are you putting curses on a person?
I'm
like
not
that?
putting
That's
curses
hateful.
on him. I'm
You're so
literally I'm going off of what I've seen in the past with Brody Croyle, and that has nothing to do with talent wise or anything. I'm talking about literally size wise. That man was not big enough to play in the NFL, and it showed. I mean, every single time he got hit, damn near, he was off the field. And if you can't stay on the field, how are you better than anyone else?
But see, you're talking about something that's yet to be seen, though. You get what I'm saying? Like, we haven't seen him take NFL level hits, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It falls back on both of us because
it does,
because it kind of disproves mine and yours.
At the same time, I don't know that, and not to mention all of the other things involved with the whole baseball thing. And
You're very heightest, Levi. Let's be real.
Yeah,
you're
but
very heightest.
That's when it comes to receivers. So
Nah,
it's not
period.
really quarterbacks.
You are very heightest. No, you are prejudiced against people who are below 5'9" and playing professional sports.
No, a receiver. I have no problem. That's a reach. That's a reach.
Nah, this is period. Nah, Levi is prejudiced.
Receiver wise, yes. Albert Wilson, I was happy to see him leave Kansas City. He is not tall enough for this ride, okay?
Kyler Murray kind of reminds me of the Sam Bradford situation. Sam Bradford, even though Sam Bradford is way bigger than Kyler Murray, Sam Bradford couldn't stay healthy, and Sam Bradford was a good quarterback. So I think for me, I'm with Levi. It's all about his health, and can he take those hits and get up and actually stay healthy to consistently contain his career? And I think that answer is no. Just because you have to be some form of stable, you don't have to be all that big, but you just your body has to take hits constantly.
So do you guys? And sorry to interject a little bit, but so you guys think that but between Papa Schroeder and EDJ, you guys think that if his health is relatively good, you think he is the number one quarterback in the draft?
No.
I think so in the right system, if he can stay healthy. Mine is based off health. I think that if in the right system, that boy is fast, like different level. And if he can stay healthy and be in the right system, find the right fit, he could be the next Patrick Mahomes.
Because that's what I'm saying. He just seems like a compact Lamar Jackson.
Okay, you got that look on your face. Okay. What I mean by that is the next just phenomenon. You know what I mean? The next.
Fair enough. So, what about you, Lucky? You've been a little silent on it.
I just think, basically, I just don't want him to get hurt because if he's hurt, then he's no use to anybody. And I feel like if you're going to be the number one pick, I feel like you should have a stature and a build to last in this league. And if you don't have that, I feel like you shouldn't be the number one pick. No matter how much skill you have, you're not going to last in the league. Because if a dude like Aaron Donald comes straight at you and you get hit and you're laying on the field, there's nothing that you can do about it.
But health aside, how would you view him? Health aside, how do you view him?
He's cold. I have nothing to say about that. His skill is great. I'm not talking about his skill.
Is he number one
over Dwayne Haskins?
Yeah.
I mean, if you put them side by side, Kyler Murray is a little bit better than him just off of he's more of a dual threat. That's just straight off of that. I'm not saying that Dwayne Haskins is trash. I'm not saying that he can't move. I'm just saying if we're talking about pure speed, he got that track speed.
Michael Vick was the fastest quarterback in the league, and I would never confuse him with being the best quarterback all time.
Actual factuals.
That's true.
That's facts.
I think if we're going off arm talent, the best arm in the draft is Drew Lock. If we're just going strictly off arm talent. But overall talent, I would probably say it's Haskins and then Murray. But if we're talking about number one, I would have to give it with Haskins just because of what he did in one season as a starter in one of the best conferences in college football. That's pretty hard to do.
And see, my opinion, I don't think saying that Haskins is number one is a knock on Murray. I think they're both immensely talented quarterbacks.
Yeah, I just feel like at the end of the day, if Kyler Murray can keep his health, he's worth the number one spot. If that's just how, if the system fits him well enough, I feel like he would be great.
So basically, based on contingencies, trues across the board. All right, case closed.
False, nigga.
Nah,
False.
trues across the board. All right, DK Metcalf will be the next great wide receiver.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
True.
That's the next Megatron.
False.
That's Megatron. The same stature, the same build. That boy can jump. That boy can't jump.
He can. What else though?
Why you say false, Ray?
All right, because like if you start looking at his like short distance quickness, it's not there. His 3 cones was terrible. Like he just seems as if he's going to be mainly a deep threat.
So are you basing your judgment off of everything that happened in the combine?
I mean, that's what everybody else is doing.
Combine don't count, bro.
Is that what everybody else? That's what everybody else is doing. Everybody is going off of Twitter pictures of this man with 1.6% body fat, supposedly.
I don't care about his body fat, right?
I'm talking about what everybody else is going off of.
I don't care about everybody, bro.
But no, I don't think he's well rounded enough to be the next great wide receiver. He has some immense skills. He's physically blessed. Like we've seen it. He has great talent.
Does anybody come out of college well-rounded enough to be the next great wide receiver, though?
Negative.
Not really.
Very sparingly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you got to be on some real like a OBJ, barely DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we're talking these dudes are elite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Top of the food chain.
yeah. So I mean, he could definitely prove me wrong. I'm not saying that he can't, but just for the all-around skills, I don't see it.
I mean, I think his size gives him an advantage in the sense that you just throw it up to him in the red zone.
That's fair, but
and then you just build on that. I mean, the route running is something that's going to develop with time.
Because see, that's what I was going to say. Because then, like, if at that point he would kind of pigeonhole himself to just being, more so a red zone wide receiver, as in, a get it all done.
But Ray, give him 2 years. You have to give him time to develop. Because I know a lot of wide receivers right now that didn't come into the league being great wide receivers. Like we said earlier, Antonio Brown was not a great wide receiver. When he first came into the league, he was not great.
He also didn't have those same physical talents either.
But he wasn't great, though. Did he develop? He developed.
He did. But also, this is the whole thing. DK Metcalf is projected to be taken within the first 2 rounds. 3 at worst.
Deservingly.
But Antonio Brown was picked in the 6th. We didn't expect shit out of him. There was no expectations on him.
That's true. He was a kick returner coming in the league.
Exactly. He was a special teams player. That's all we knew him as. He developed into more. We had no expectations. We already have expectations for DK Metcalf.
Big Ben made him a star.
But, I mean, come on now.
The shit. Cut it out.
Did you just say Ben Roethlisberger made AB a star?
Yeah, he did.
Yes, sir.
Get out of here. I mean, I think he will be one of the better wide receivers in the league at some point. I don't know if he's the next superstar, but I think he's up there towards the top if we're talking about just wide receivers in general. So, I mean, I would go true.
So, would you take him over Marquise Brown?
You what?
Would you take him over Marquise Brown?
Yes, just because of I am being a little sexist. I think DK Metcalf is the better physical athlete than Brown, but I think Brown's talented too. So it's kind of a coin flip, but I'd still take Metcalf.
This is such a prejudiced podcast.
No, I mean, but I mean, most of the corners in the league are like around 6'1" ish, around there.
But all they got to do is break up the pass. They ain't got to catch it.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you try to jam DK Metcalf off the line, we already know what's going to happen. It doesn't matter how fast he is within 5 yards or 10 yards. You're not jamming him off the line, period.
Don't always have to jam him off the line.
That's true.
He can play 5 yards off.
And with his route running skills where they are, I mean, do you need to at the moment? You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like how effective is it going to be anyways?
Exactly, because that's the whole thing. If I was a corner, I'm gonna play 10 yards off of him.
Then that's just the end route.
Huh?
I said then that's just a curl. every single time.
But that's what I'm talking about. His short distance quickness isn't there.
But his strength is there. So if I run, okay, I got a question. If I run a curl, you're playing 10 yards off. You got to come back to the ball.
I can break that up.
He already has it. He's turning around. Are you?
We're talking about NFL cornerbacks.
And then you have to consider the physical nature of DK Metcalf.
That boy strong.
It's gonna be hard to reach around him and break that up.
Yeah.
That boy strong.
That's a for lack of a better phrase, it's like a box out, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because that boy strong.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's gonna use his physical prowess to kind of get ahead his first couple years in the league until all the finer details start to matriculate.
Because he's strong.
Is that a real word?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm gonna go true with it too because I think eventually he'll be a great receiver in the league.
Okay,
I mean, but if he still has those physical attributes, wow. I mean, if he still has those physical attributes after he develops in the league, he's gonna be a monster.
Yeah.
I'm just going off of him right now, but okay. So what? Trues across the board besides myself?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Man.
So trues across the board.
Okay. And last but not least, AB and Le'Veon Bell will both be top 10 fantasy players this year. Excuse me.
False.
That's false.
Yeah, false.
False.
Just because. I mean, actually, I'll take that back. I feel like Le'Veon will be in the top 10. AB, no.
But it's both. So
It's both?
Exactly.
So I have to take both of them
Yeah,
in the first round.
Yeah.
No.
Okay then.
Because I feel like if it was just like one, like Le'Veon and then Antonio Brown, because I just know that the way that they're going to try to fit Le'Veon into their offense in New York, there's just going to be a handoff almost every single play. That's just how I feel. And AB, I mean, and with AB in Oakland, I just don't trust Derek Carr enough to even let myself take him one of the first picks. And also it's because Derek Carr has a lot of weapons on that team that he can barely use right now.
Huh? He got a bunch of weapons.
He has like one other weapon.
Who?
I gotta look at that.
Exactly. Because Amari Cooper just left. After that, who the number
they
two?
sold their weapons off.
Exactly. You know who the number 2 receiver was after that? Jordy Nelson. And he just retired.
Yeah.
And then they got Martavis Bryant and he got popped again. There's no weapons. That is a wasteland. An offensive wasteland. They best receiver was Seth Roberts, and he's a running back. Damn shame. I want no parts of that offense.
I mean, yeah, that's putting a lot of faith in Derek Carr's ability to make AB look good. I think AB has a lot on his shoulders to make Derek Carr look good, and especially if Derek Carr has to play in Arrowhead, because we all know how Derek Carr plays in Arrowhead, and that's garbage. Derek Carr doesn't play well in big games, and when you come to Arrowhead, it usually is a big game, and he just chokes. So I can't see him being in top 10. I mean, I know it's true or false, and it's both of them, but for that sake, no. But I would probably put Le'Veon Bell in the top 10, but since it's true or false, I'll have to go with false. But for statistical reasons, Le'Veon Bell will probably be in the top 10.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I say false, but I think Le'Veon Bell will probably be top 10, and AB, I don't. He's not going to be close.
He's going to make top 20, but
Top 25.
He's literally going to be just out there by himself.
That is true.
You know
He's going to get all the targets.
Like,
that is true.
Low key, he can mess around and see like $160 in targets.
PPR league, he might be
He
really
might
worth
it.
it.
Yeah, but the worst part is I feel like it's going to be a lot of boom or bust.
That's very true. I think both of them too, because I mean, especially Lev Bell. I think having that year off is such a. Personally, I think it's going to be good, but you can't gauge that. You know, you never know. So everybody's got false on that.
Yes.
No, I think he'll be top 10.
Oh,
Both.
No.
Well,
The question is both.
That's stupid. But okay. False.
Man, fuck all y'all and my true or falses this week. All right.
hey,
that
I'm
was
with
that
you.
was
That was mine, and it's fine.
That's
Levi, you did a good job writing it down. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
So we all got false. So who do you think is gonna be top 10?
I think AB will.
Over Lev Bell.
Yeah.
But you're going to put that much faith in Derek Carr, though?
Nope. I'm putting that much faith in Antonio Brown. And I think
But
he's going
Derek
to
Carr's
make.
got to get it there.
Yep, and I don't think he has to try as hard to get it to AB.
That's true.
I think it'll be a little bit easier for him, and I think AB is going to relish the chance to have all those targets and not split them with Schuster or anybody else.
That's very true.
And I have to apologize for the terrible use of matriculate. That is when a person enrolls into college. I looked it up. That shit's terrible. I apologize to the fans of Showbanks.
That boy been watching too many T.I. videos. It's all good, y'all.
Yeah.
You don't finish that expeditiously.
And I believe that's all for our true or false this week.
That's all, folks.
Yeah, that's all, folks.
All right, thanks for joining us, EDJ.
All right, man. We'll see you guys later.
And that was the show, folks. Don't forget to follow us on our socials at Showbanks Show. Thank you again for tuning in with us. We really appreciate every listen, every follow, every subscription. So, sincerely from the Showbanks Show, I just want to say thank you. We out.
To the blue, motherfucker.